sport. But right now, let's take you to our roller skating venue with Jim Kelly, Misha Petkovic, and Gary Castro.
In the finals of the free dance, they're in first place and they're going for the gold. 21 years old from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Anna Marie Danks. And 21 years old out of Newark, Delaware, Scott Myers.
You know, they're a very flashy pair. You can see even by the costumes they've chosen to wear that this is going to be a very exciting program.
That music by Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Around, got the crowd into it in the first 5 seconds. I would imagine that the music, if you can get into it yourself, a fast beginning helps get rid of any little last-minute nerves you might have. A slow beginning, you feel a little bit more pressure.
I think that's probably right. In fact, you have to concentrate when you take off the starting position, and once you're in it, you're committed.
Tune by Frank Mills, Sadness is Goodbye. Gary Castro, are there certain movements that are crowd pleasers, but those movements really don't matter much when you get to scoring the event?
That's quite true. Now, some of the events, particularly in the slow-moving events, are audience appeal because of the hand movements or the body movements, but they're really not doing anything intricate with the feet.
Remember the movie Carney? The Blues from Carney.
You know, these kids have had a very impressive competitive career, 2-time national championships, but they almost lost their world championship title in the free dance routine last year, and in fact, they came in second in the world championships, but were able to come back and win the World Games. The performance thus far, I think, is very impressive.
Certainly dramatic, and the crowd into it. Lots of oohs and ahs from downstairs. You talked about being the 2-time defending world championship. How versatile is Scotty Myers? He also skates figures, and he himself took second in world-class figures in the 1985 national championships and third at the world championship. I guess at figures, you might find Scotty at the Arthur Murray Dance Studio, King of Prussia. 10 years of competitive skating experience. Anna Marie, she's been at it for about 8 years and was named an honorary coach for the Special Olympics roller skating. Another cha-cha, another conclusion, and maybe another gold for Scott Myers and Anna Marie Danks. Standing ovation here in Houston. Gary Castro, if they don't do anything else, what's the most important item that Anna Marie and Scott did in their performance to have their routine scored very well?
Well, the originality of the one particular movement where they depended upon the inertia of Scott's body to carry Anna Marie around in a full revolution item. She just held on basically around the waist while he wasn't holding on to her.
Merit and artistic impression.
Let's take a look at that move. In fact, this is one of the dance lifts that are permitted. Very creative movement by Anna and Scott. They're doing some footwork beforehand. Look at that. He is not even touching her. The circular motion, in fact, just carried her around, and he held his balance. That is a very difficult thing to do.
Wilson, please, could you come to the official stand?
Bit of a delay in the scoring from the three judges, and of course, Misha is a former competitor yourself. You know, this is a very frustrating time. While we have that delay, let's go downstairs again. Gary?
Well, Scott and Anna, that was quite a routine, a new routine. Are you pleased?
Very pleased. It was a new experience. We tried to do a couple more tricks than usual to get the crowd into it more, and it worked.
You know, last year, the free dance seemed to be the weak point. In some ways, it may have cost you the World Championships. Do you feel that you've strengthened it for this year's competition?
Definitely. We worked very hard until the last 2 months. We haven't even done our compulsories, and we really showed them tonight.
The overall performance had how many changes? 4 changes?
Yes, 4 altogether. There was the blues. So the first cut was the disco.
Okay. Look at your monitor here. Here's the cartwheel movement. Is that one of your new original movements?
Yeah, it is.
So we worked on that about 1,000,000 times to get that one right. It's a little hard coming down on those toe stops.
How many hours a week have you practiced the free dance?
We were practicing all together like 6 to 8 hours a day.
6 days a week.
You spend the majority of the time on the free dance or the compulsory?
Yeah, on
Most in the free dance. That's
free
the one.
dance and OSP.
Which part of the routine was your favorite segment?
I like the blues.
The blues.
You seem to excel in blues. Doesn't the color of your costume have something to do with the mood of the music?
Yes, it does a lot.
Now, how about your opening? Within the first 5 seconds, you seem to have the audience just right with you. Was that planned that way?
Definitely.
We tried to keep it going as much as we could throughout the whole thing.
Gary, ask Anna and Scott what winning this competition would mean to them.
What would winning this competition mean to you?
Well, it's a big thrill to win it, but it doesn't count till next weekend. This is just a little get out and strut our stuff competition.
Are you trying to tell us that something else is coming next week?
Oh, yes. Our national championships are in Indianapolis, and we'll be there, and everybody you've seen tonight will be there, and come down and watch.
Gary, this is really the start of a big series of skating competition, isn't it?
That's right. Next week, they go to the national championships, which is the qualifying round for the world championships. Now, here we go with the scores.
97, 96, 94.
Gary, what would you imagine was the delay with the judges? Why did it take so long?
There may have been one judge that was undecided.
96, 95, 93.
My guess would be judge number 1.
Now, the scores seem quite satisfactory. Are you going to hold on to the first?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? You think the totals are there?
Yes.
Well, once again, congratulations to Scott and Ann, and soon we'll have the results.
And thanks. 21 years old out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and Scott Myers, 21 out of Newark, Delaware, as they go for the gold.
As you can see by the crowd at the Albert Thomas Convention Center, roller skating is very popular here in Houston. 62 athletes were sent to Houston to compete in both figure skating on wheels and speed skating on wheels. Right now, let's go back and find out if Scott Danks and Ann Myers have won the gold medal. There's another duet to take the wheels.
In second place, currently looking at a silver medal, but hoping for a gold out of Norcross, Georgia, Lori Walsh and Robert Ferrito. Things off, song and dance, a little bit on the quiet side compared to the music selected by Julie Hyder and Alan Desterhat.
Exactly right, Jim, and I think that was a very artistic opening. It reminds me a little bit of ballet. These are much more balletic skaters, it seems to me.
Castro down ringside. Gary, what elements of the dance are important, and what do the judges look for?
First and foremost, they look for the unity of the team, the ability to appear as one, and And then following that is the expression and interpretation joined with the unity. You should have a complete routine.
And of course, Misha, in both ice dancing and roller dancing, everything is so interpretive because it's really, they both are relatively new sports.
That's exactly right. I think the interesting thing about roller dancing is the fact that these kids have really an opportunity to be very, very creative. There are restrictions about how high you can lift your partner and various moves that are prohibited. You can't do paralifts, for example, or jumps or spins. But on the other hand, it opens up the opportunity to do a lot of creativity, particularly footwork, positioning, and body movement.
Certainly a European flair to the music.
Definitely. Look at that footwork. They're known for interesting footwork, and that sequence of footwork was very intriguing.
Lori Walsh and Robert Ferrendo, both from Norcross, Georgia. Lori, 5'5". Well, she sews both her and Rob's competition costumes. She's been competing for over 10 years now. Skates world-class dance with Rob. Last year, they won the silver at the festival and the bronze at nationals, and they placed 4th at the World Championships. You talked about that footwork. Let's zero in.
Now, the thing to focus on is how the unison is. Look at how their feet are together and the intricacy of it. Turning, and look at how the knee action works to allow them to do those turns, moving rapidly across the floor. It all requires very precise movement and accuracy. And while doing that movement, in fact, they looked artistic, looked graceful.
Rob has been skating for 11 years. He's a graduate of the University of Rhode Island at Warwick and is presently employed as a pharmacist in Atlanta. And the scores now for our second place couple. The first set of scores for technical merit, 95, 95, and 94.
Those were great scores here. Let's see what your artistic impression scores are, and we'll talk a little bit about the routine.
'93, '96, '95.
Now, I know you have to be happy about the routine, but there were some changes this year. What have you done to improve the routine?
We've made it a lot more dramatic. Last year we skated to an Oklahoma theme, and we worked a little bit more on physical lifts to make it a little stronger, and the personality of the routine has been entirely changed this year.
Well, there's no question about it. You're a greatly improved team, and good luck on the outcome of the contest.
Thanks very much, Gary.
So there they are, Robert
The
Ferrendo.
results are now official from the roller skating free dance competition. Rob Ferrendi and Lori Walsh take the gold, Anna Danks and Scott Myers the silver, and Rob Galambos and Janine Parks end up with the bronze. We will continue with our coverage of Olympic Festival. We have men's basketball, but first, this.